This is an audiobook of Peggy's Change, written by Celestine and produced by Cyan Development Concepts. All illustrations are done by Nasiphi Mketsi, and the voice-over narration is performed by Mbali Madzinga. As days passed, Peggy, Nate, and Fletcher grew closer. Their bond strengthened through shared grief over Webby's passing. They spent their days swimming, diving, and strolling along the wooden pathway, creating new memories together. This helped them remember Webby and ease their sorrows. Although the pain of losing Webby still lingered, Peggy slowly began to accept her new reality. Fletcher, being a loyal friend, made sure that Peggy was rarely alone, and followed her everywhere, like a shadow. Nate was always close by, providing a comforting presence. Peggy found the care she received from her friends endearing. She understood that they were also grieving the loss of Webby, and yet they selflessly consoled her and helped her grieve. As the seasons came and went, one after the other, the penguins prepared for their annual molting. It was summer, and the air was thick with heat and humidity, making it hard for them to eat much. As the sun set, casting a warm golden glow over the shore, Nate felt the urge to take one last dive for the day. Peggy, feeling pleasantly full from their meal earlier, which included sardines and anchovies, decided not to go with them. Instead, she would head back to her burrow for a nap. She waved both Fletcher and Nate goodbye as they headed towards the ocean and watched them waddle and disappear around a huge rock in the direction of Nate's favorite diving spot. Nate's favorite diving spot was a secluded little cove that was hidden from the rest of the colony. He loved that spot because of the sense of peace and serenity it offered him. The sun began to cast longer and longer shadows onto the beach. Peggy was still sound asleep in her burrow. However, her peaceful evening was shattered into chaos by Nate's piercing and anguished bray. It jolted her from her sleep. She waddled out of her burrow in a hurry, the feathers at the back of her neck rising with worry. She saw Nate waddling towards her at a speedy pace. When he finally got to her, he told her that Fletcher had been caught in a net. Peggy demanded to know where Fletcher was. Nate, after managing to calm himself down from his original panic state, led Peggy to where Fletcher was, while trying to assure her that Fletcher would be fine. He was also afraid, but he knew that he needed to keep calm. As soon as they approached the spot where Fletcher was, Peggy saw him painfully tangled in an old fishing net, not moving. Peggy's eyes widened. She assumed Fletcher was gone, and she felt herself get dizzy. Suddenly, Fletcher raised his head and Peggy let out a loud sigh of relief. Fletcher was alive. Before they could approach Fletcher, they saw Philippa, their care worker, rush past them. Her eyes were fixed on Fletcher. She untangled him and gently examined his cuts and bruises while assuring Peggy and Nate that his wounds were not too bad. Nate's words of comfort, along with Philippa's reassurance, helped calm Peggy's panic, and she accepted that Fletcher would be all right. Philippa was remarkably calm. It assured Peggy that she knew what she was doing. The frantic yells and brays of her family and friends could be heard from the distance, coming closer and closer. The care workers tried to calm the other penguins down, who had all gathered at the cove to investigate what was happening. The wooden pathway and beach were now abuzz with activity. On dawn approached Peggy and Nate, concerned and wanting to know what was going on. Nate calmly started telling them the story of how everything happened. He started from when he and Fletcher left Peggy to go for a dive. Nate explained that they had been having fun diving together when Fletcher unintentionally dove deep enough to get caught in an old fishing net that was stuck at the base of the ocean. This sadly often happens to penguins. They get caught in the litter that people dump in the ocean. Fortunately, Fletcher was found in time. Philippa and the other care workers treated Fletcher's wounds as best they could before taking him to the hospital for overnight care. That night, Peggy lay uncomfortable in her burrow, unable to sleep. She was worried about Fletcher being at the hospital. She feared that he would not return, just like Webby. The following day, Philippa brought Fletcher home to his family and friends who were overjoyed to see him. Nate was the happiest to see his best friend. He let out a loud and excited bray. The entire family rushed over to welcome Fletcher back, and Peggy patiently stepped aside and waited for all the excitement to die down. She was thrilled to see Fletcher home again, and Fletcher seemed glad to be back with his loved ones as well. Soon, they were all walking together along the wooden pathway while the care workers cleaned up the litter that had washed up on their beach. They made sure that it was clean for the penguins to enjoy. As Peggy and Fletcher waddled side by side, they waved at Philippa, grateful for her continuous kindness and care. She waved back, clutching a colorful handmade plastic handbag that was hanging from her shoulder. Philippa loved her handbag, which was made from recycled plastic materials. She was mindful to keep it a safe distance away from the penguins and the ocean. Peggy appreciated the thoughtfulness, love, and care that Philippa and her team had towards them. The morals of the story. The dangers of littering. Fletcher getting caught in an old fishing net reminds us of the dangers that littering and pollution have on the environment and animals. It highlights the importance of responsible waste management to protect sea life. The value of kindness and help. Philippa and the other care workers' act of freeing Fletcher from the net show the importance of kindness and support in times of need. Her actions show us that even small gestures of compassion can make a huge difference. The power of creative recycling. Philippa's innovative approach to recycling plastic by transforming it into a useful item such as a handbag promotes sustainability and reduces waste. It encourages us to think creatively about waste management and find new uses for discarded materials. Thank you for listening to the Cyan Development original audiobook of Peggy's Change, written by Celestine Williams, illustrated by Nasiphi Mketsi, and performed by Mbali Madzinga.